What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here, and today we've got a lot more Destiny 2 stuff to look at coming from E3, mainly our first actual look at the new Hunter subclass called the Arcstrider, of course. Going to be going over the gameplay of it in action with its new abilities, what the super is like, and also got a bunch of new weapons and other shots we got from E3 as well. So this footage is courtesy of a GameSpot. They had an interview with Deej and showed off this footage from a Bungie, and it basically goes through everything you need to know about the subclass, which is actually a really good look at it. Now, the first thing that's very interesting about the Arcstrider is that it does not have a knife as the melee ability. It's actually a punch. So for the first time in Destiny, it's not the case where all hunters just have the knife as their melee ability. I'm guessing that Gunslinger is now the only class with the knife, and also throwing knife, of course, because that's going to make sense, that is his melee ability. But with the Arcstrider, its melee is of course now a punch, which is kind of electrified. So it's really interesting to see the hunter melees are actually getting differentiated. Now moving on to the super, this is where things get interesting. So seeing it actually be unleashed, you can see it's very different to the Blade Dancer in terms of how it moves. Obviously it looks very similar, it's still an arc kind of melee ability, but it's more of like a tornado of arc energy. That's what it looks like to me. You're just basically spinning around and just hitting stuff with the staff, as opposed to the Blade Dancer, which is more just like swiping enemies, and if you miss, then you miss. Whereas this one is more just like menacing towards enemies, and once you get close to them, you're pretty much bound to hit them with how big the staff is. So it seems to be pretty interesting in that sense. Also, you do keep your momentum a lot more than the Blade Dancer. It's a lot more consistent. So as you can see in this clip, once he actually takes out this guy, he basically is able to keep on moving and just go through him, literally as if he didn't stop for anything. Whereas again, with the Blade Dancer, you would have swiped him, stopped, and then you have to keep on going and keep on swiping and using more energy to keep on moving. So the momentum does seem a lot better with this Arcstrider. As I said, you can hit people and then keep on moving on. You're basically just flowing through enemies, and the way he takes out enemies in this room does seem really smooth. He just kind of goes through them, and again, it seems to be a lot better at taking out enemies in close quarters. Hopefully it means no short stops and shouldn't be as kind of bug prone as the Blade Dancer, but the super does seem really interesting. And also the super energy doesn't seem to drain as fast. It goes pretty slowly, so you've got a good amount of time in this thing. You can actually use it and not have to worry about it running out really quickly, which again, the Blade Dancer did not have nearly enough time. That was always one of my complaints about it. Again, they can possibly tweak that, and they probably will change the timings of things, but so far it does look like a slightly upgraded and basically improved Blade Dancer, which is exactly what I'd hoped for. Now there's also a pretty interesting clip where you do see it against a Fist of Havoc, a striker who's actually active, and it appears that he doesn't have enough damage to actually take out the striker, which is unfortunate. It seems to take about half of his health, but it's worth knowing if you go up against a striker, you're definitely going to lose, and he is going to slam. So this is an interesting kind of encounter that goes on. You can also see the Shade Step being used quite a lot, because obviously, if you didn't know, the Shade Step or the Dodge ability, that's across all Hunter subclasses, so it isn't tied to specific ones, and of course he's doing it right here plenty of times. You can also see the punch again. It takes 3 punches to take down a full Guardian in Destiny 2, so it's a bit weaker, not like 2 hits in Destiny 1. And also the Sticky Nade, that's the actual nade he's using, which of course the Flux. The nades for this Arcstrider are the exact same as the Blade Dancer, so you got the Sticky Nade, or the Flux as it's called, also the Skip Grenades and the Arc Bolt. So those are the 3 grenades, and with this Sticky Nade you can see it does actually miss him, where I feel like in Destiny 1 that definitely would have hit him. Like the tracking on Sticky Nades was always pretty ridiculous, but as you can see in this clip, he throws it so close to him. Like in Destiny 1 this 100% would have stuck him, so it seems to show the nerf of the Sticky Nades even further. They don't track as much as they used to, and of course even if it did stick him, it wouldn't one-hit kill because it only takes off like 80% of your health now. So Sticky Nades definitely not as powerful as they used to be. They're still of course very powerful nades to do massive damage, but they're definitely not going to be the super low skill, just instant one-hit kill like they are in Destiny 1. So if you're wondering about the other perks and the actual subclass nodes of the Arcstrider, I did actually do a separate video detailing all of the perks and all their options, what they do, the 2 clusters basically. Seems to be a lot about dodging and being evasive. No actual cloak abilities, so the Arcstrider cannot go invisible, but a lot of it does seem to be based around dodging and also meleeing, and it's kind of like a high risk, high reward, a bit like an assassin, kind of what you expect with a hunter. But I'll link that video down in the description if you want to see all the details of the subclass perks. So I also want to show you guys a bunch of brand new press images from Activision. So this is an official press kit showing off a ton of stuff. Like there's hundreds of images in here. There's a good look at the new exotic sniper. There's new weapons and armor, environments, enemies, just a ton of stuff. Massive amount of cool images to look at. And it just gets me so ridiculously excited seeing these high-res images. So I'm going to stop talking over them and let you guys enjoy the shots. As always, let me know your thoughts on the new Arcstrider subclass and the changes. A like rating would be much appreciated, and enjoy the rest of the images.